I'm not going to do a show unless there's a good, strong signal. I think I'm going to go in emergency tomorrow.
I think you should do.
Yeah, cancel my clients, go in emergency. Because I'm not sleeping. This pain is, it's expanding now. Oh, we got a signal. Sorry about that, fellas. We've been having trouble getting live. It's taking me 10 minutes to get a show up here.
Done?
Yeah. I just can't eat eggs this morning. Let's go ahead and start the show. There's a video I want you guys to watch. Hold on one second while I pull the video up. Wrong. Okay, I'm going to play this video. The title of it's by Nasheed Jackson. Keep your D out of her. Advice from a pimp. And I want to hear your comments on this, and I'll tell you my comments.
For a long time, people have been asking me, how did you stay married so long? Because when they see me and my wife together, we are happy, and she's happy. So they constantly want to know the secret. And I would say something like, I just do a whole bunch of small things, and it ended up to be a big marriage, And then, but even more surprised to know that I have another wife. And when people see me and her together, they ask the same thing, how do y'all make this work? And I never really tell the truth because of fear or fear of what people may think. When people hear the word pimp, they think of negative things. Well, at a very young age, 17, a pimp took me under his wing and he started to teach me things. And now that when I look back at it, he was a pimp, and he didn't like that word, by the way. He used to say, he used to tell me, we are gentlemen of leisure. But now when I look back at it, I see that he wasn't, his exploitation of women, he did that, but he really had a study of women. He made women his study. And he saw that I was doing the same thing. I was on that same road to make women my study. So he pulled me under his wing and he started to teach me things. And I want to share with you some of those things because I'm looking at our relationships and I feel that our relationships go wrong because the foundation is not correct. If you mess up the foundation of anything, it's going to crumble after a while. We have to get the foundation correct. And men, we have to stand that foundation. We have to establish that foundation. One of the first things he taught me was, he saw that I loved women and I had this fine girl and everything, you know what I mean? He told me, keep your dick out of her. Period. I know you love her, I know you want to do this, but you have to understand that women are more than just some pussy. Young, I didn't understand it, but I listened to it. I started taking his advice. And what I come to find out, if a woman is entertaining you, she's already made the decision that she's going to give you some. Your job is to decide if you want it or not. Because she's giving it doesn't mean you have to take it. You have to get to know this person. And I'm talking about in starting a relationship. You have to get to know this person. This person is going to be with you for a long time. Can you talk to her? Can you be friends with her? If something happens to you, do you know that this woman has your back? Is she a good mother? You know what I mean? What is it? You have to get to know her and stop thinking thinking about pussy all the time. If she got pussy, she gonna get that to you. Listen, women have lost faith in us because as men, we are natural leaders. And when they get of age, they start looking for a man and they don't see leaders. They see people out of control. They see dudes out of control because we can't control our sexual desires and we are not in control of our money at all. So she ends up making calls or being leaders by herself and just have to get recreational sex from this dude who she happened to be messing with. We have to become leaders, and they have to see that we're leaders, and they do that by seeing that we're in control. Be in control by not wanting her pussy all the time. Damn her pussy. See what the woman is like. Get to know that woman. Get to love her, not for what she's offering you. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is some advice, man. You know, if you got game, if you just starting out and you want to use this, I please do. And if you want to use this to your strategy, want to add this to your strategy, please do that also. But we just have to stop wanting to have sex or fuck them all the time. They're more than that. They're our life partners. Y'all be good.
Okay. Now, most of you guys are scrubs. All you want to do, that's why I hate that statement that people make. I just want to bang hot chicks. It's so far beneath me that it's hard for me to deal with those types of mentality. And I totally understand where the brother's coming from. In the pimp game, you're not supposed to bang your hoes. You know, it's supposed to be a gift to them. But we're not pimps. So in the player game, that's why you want to have a team. You want to have a couple of females you can hit. Okay? That way you don't give one girl too much attention. You want to keep them craving your attention. Of course, your sex is bomb ass. You're not some scrub dude that's fiddling around with the pussy and just going in for himself. I've worked with guys who did not know if their girls got orgasms or not. American guys, if you know what I mean. So, and I think of the poor girls they're fucking. This guy don't even know if the girl had an orgasm. So, anyways, let me know what you think of that advice. You can see how it applies to the game. Okay, this is where we can take a pimp concept and adapt it to our level of game. That's why we have a team of females. This man said he had 2 wives, so obviously he's still living a pimp lifestyle. He applied it to his own lifestyle. He had the tutelage of a real pimp, and that was damn good advice. Because if you give a baby a sucker or a lollipop all the time, you spoil the child. Think of it like that. You give women the dick all the time, you spoil her. It's nothing to her. She starts to demean you, or demean the gift of you, of your sex. Hopefully your sex is good enough to be a fucking gift. And you're not some, as I said, scrub that's just want to bang hot chicks. The type of male I just can't fucking stand. I just can't stand you guys, man. You're so low. As probably this fella feels the same way. You know, if people start asking him for advice, he's gonna just look at you like you're a piece of shit. There he is living a high level life, and you're asking, I just want to bang hot chicks. That's how I feel, man. Waiting for someone to make a comment about this. Step up, make a comment. Again, that's why you want to have a team. That means you're dating more than one female. You're having sex with more than one female. I like how he said, take your time. Totally agree with that. That's why I like to find out, all I can about a female. I like to find out their trigger points. What it takes to move them in my direction. To Raul, with your female, you done wasted so much goddamn time with her. you're playing a bubble gum game where she's playing an adult game. You're giving her a kiss on the forehead, kiss on the cheek, because you're afraid. And I submit to you that she doesn't deserve that. She needs a man. You're not acting like a man. So maybe you might want to just let her go. She's Brazilian. You're originally Brazilian. I don't know if she's the white Brazilian. She might have an issue with the color of your skin, because that's how they are in Brazil, by the way. Your relatives, they have straight hair, as I recall, but you've got the afro, and that can also separate you. Jovina, Brazil. Where would Raul fit in the Brazil scheme? Because he's got an afro, but his brothers and sisters, they've got the straighter hair. He's light-skinned, but if he gets in the sun, if he goes to Brazil, he'll turn to his actual skin color. He's over in the Netherlands where there's no sunlight. It's weak sunlight. So he would darken. Yeah. He stays light-skinned over there, but or kind of light. And he's trying to date this Brazilian girl. And I don't know if she's the white Brazilian or if she's like him. If she's the white Brazilian, she's doing some stuff where, she goes out with her group and then she acts, shy or retreat from him. But he's had a couple dates with her. So she keeps accepting the dates with her. And dumbass, sorry, Raul kissed her forehead. He kissed her cheek. He said it for friend zone, like I told him this morning. He said it for friend zone. If you don't step up, and he says he's going to kiss her next time, he's got another date. She keeps accepting the date.
Yeah, if she's accepting the date, then
there's some slight interest there.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has to just step. That's probably what she's waiting for him to make.
She's waiting. Brazilian men step over like a motherfucker.
And she knows that.
She knows that, and she's comparing him to Brazilian men.
Well, she's probably not. Is she aware of his circumstances and?
I believe they've talked, so she knows it. Well, he don't speak Portuguese. He speaks Dutch, which is actually the first language, if you're an English speaker, that you want to learn is Dutch. They said that's the easiest to learn for English speakers.
But was she born in Brazil?
She's Brazilian, yes. So obviously, yes.
So, being Brazilian just means that maybe your parents were born there originally.
She's Brazilian. Okay.
So she probably speaks the language. That's another thing too. You could probably coax her into teaching you how to speak the language.
Yeah, that's what he should be doing. Hey, I want to learn my native tongue.
Yeah.
That's an inroad to more conversation.
Another way of connecting and getting closer.
Yeah. And then you say, well, how do you say you are beautiful? And she'll tell you about the linda. Yeah. Você é linda. As he's looking at her and then getting close to her. And how do you say, I'm going to kiss you? As he kisses her. Yeah, that'd be really cool if he did that. Yeah.
That'd be clever there.
Yeah. Smart as. Yeah. Now his skin complexion. Where would he rate? Because they're all about the hierarchy of skin color over there, and you mentioned that. Moreno, is that the word?
Okay, moreno is describing that he has a tan complexion.
Yeah, so he'd be a moreno. Now, if she's white, one of the white Brazilians, as racist they fucking are down there.
We saw a video on what they categorized everybody, because mulatto is when you're mixed.
Yeah, and he's pretty much mixed.
So he could go either into that category
or moreno.
If he is actually a mulatto, then that's what he would be categorized as.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know anything about it, but would mulatto be desirable to the white ones? Or do they just want to date white ones?
I mean, it could be.
Or Portuguese looking, European looking.
More now too than they probably did in the past, way in the past.
Well, the thing is, she keeps coming back for dates, so obviously there's some kind of interest there.
Right. So she's, I think they mix a lot more now.
Good. Raul, stop playing with your food and man the fuck up. She's sitting there waiting, and you do a forehead kiss. Come on, bro. You're shaming the house. Man the fuck up. You get better teaching than that. Dominic, I agree. If you do something too much, it'll get boring. Yeah. Like I try to teach you guys, you only want to see your female twice a week at the most if she's your main girl. twice a week at the most. You give her too much dick, it gets old. Don't even see her. Give her the gift of missing you, okay? The gift of missing you. Okay, now for the next series of videos that I want to show you guys, because I was watching videos last night. Let's see. That's part of the job. I realized I got to get back into seeing what's going on within the research community in the area of dating. Now, people like me, Grease, and this fellow whose video, we don't need to stack evidence. Stacking evidence is when, you see eye contact, but you don't do anything. You wait for her to do a perimeter breach. You wait for her to, as this woman describes, flip her hair, and so you get the pheromones off her neck at your ass. But that only is a close up, by the way. The advice you're going to see right now is actually when you're in conversation with her, how to tell if she really digs you. Jovina, fat bastard. So we're looking at some videos by Vanessa Van Edwards. I like this woman. She's bottom heavy. I like that. I can tell she got a juicy ass and thighs. But we're going to look at decoding female body language first.
This, and in fact, some of it is...
Let's back this up. Okay.
About people by picking up on their nonverbal cues. Our focus today is on women, and we welcome back the author of The Human Lie Detection and Body Language 101, Vanessa Van Edwards. Good to see you again, Vanessa.
Thanks for
I just think your segments are always so much fun. And sometimes...
Let me say that I posted these videos on my forum last night, so guys get some clues. One brother said, I'm going to go out and buy the book. And if you got to buy a book on body language, and you're not accepting the main one, which is eye contact, in a social situation across the room. Now, she talks about in dealing with, as I said, interpersonal communications and stuff like that. In fact, one of hers eye contact was the last one, but she was talking about during conversation, if she's constantly looking you in the eyes. Okay, she doesn't cover if you're in she does cover a little bit of ideas. Her idea of eye contact was, the sideways glance one, instead of the straight across the room look at one. Like when I met Jovina, when I met Tanya, we looked straight across the room at each other. I'd made eye contact with Jovina when she was in motion. I walked over and stopped her. But I had made eye contact with her. Correct, Jovina?
Yes.
I had made eye contact with her. She made eye contact with me. She'd give me favorable eye contact. Otherwise, I would not approach her, even though my friend wanted me to, her to say hi to her. My friend, the DJ. He just wanted her to say hi. I don't know what his crush on you was. And I shouldn't have fucked you because he had a crush on you. That's been a bad friend. So let's listen to this and we'll get some ideas here.
Sometimes we think we already know some of this, and in fact, some of it is kind of innate, isn't it? That we almost naturally do it without even thinking about it.
Some of it is intuitive, you're like, oh, that makes total sense.
Right.
And some things are a little bit surprising. I hope I can surprise you today.
Well, let's talk about flirting, because you say there are certain cues, and this is for the male audience out there, and actually for the female audience, in case they want to flirt and don't know how to.
Exactly.
One of the first things you say is women need to look up and to the side of the man.
So this is the come hither look, right? And we naturally do this when we're trying to entice a male. It's when we tilt our head to the side and show the roundness of our face, and we kind of look up at a man. That's a come hither look. And the reason is because it releases pheromones for men. So when we tilt our neck up, that's why men love the sort of neck area. It's delicious for a man.
Yeah.
That's why. So here's a great picture of a woman. She's tilting her neck up, and that's very attractive to men because it also shows the roundness of our face, which is why we're filled with estrogen.
Does the hand on the neck indicate anything?
Right, so touching our neck or flipping our hair is sort of another flirting move, and this is because it releases pheromones. It also draws a man's attention to our neck, and this is a soft area of our body, the estrogen of our neck. They love seeing that roundness of our face because men don't have that, right? They
right,
the square jaws, exactly.
Okay, so the tossing of the hair. Yes, I
actually it becomes a habit because it's an attractive move, and so it releases pheromones, but it also shows the shine of hair. Men love, from an innate perspective, we love the shiny hair because it shows that a woman is very fertile.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you say tossing hair, rubbing their neck. Women raise their eyebrows and lower their lids to entice a man.
Yes, so this is a very enticing pose. It sort of looks like a woman in pleasure. So that's why we do this. You'll see Marilyn Monroe. This is one of her favorite moves.
I was going to say, that sounds like a Marilyn Monroe photo.
Yeah, and that is why she does it. It was literally to cue a man, that pleasure part of a man's brain.
Okay, you say when it comes to power now, when women want power, you say women pluck their eyebrows to look helpless and raise a man's testosterone.
Exactly. So let's first talk about the things that take away power.
Okay.
Women tend to like to look submissive because it makes a man's testosterone raise. So there's a reason why we pluck our eyebrows under here. It's a terrible experience. Every woman knows how awful that is. The reason we do that is because it makes us look helpless. And for a man, that raises their testosterone to take care of us. So that is actually why we pluck our eyebrows so high up and we redraw our eyebrows high up our forehead.
I had no clue.
That is why
I thought it was just so we didn't look so hairy.
No,
it made our eyes look better.
Makes us look more vulnerable. So
Yeah.
that, and also women expose their wrists to show they're vulnerable. You notice men smoke like this, women smoke like this.
Yes.
There's a reason for that, is because exposing our wrists shows I'm vulnerable, I'm submissive, which unfortunately in our culture means feminine.
Oh, right. Well,
sort of
and
go
then,
hand in hand.
and then the limp wrist kind of thing, too,
Right,
that you
so
see
this-
Cher doing. I know you see.
Right, you'll see this with women.
Yeah.
That's also a show of I'm feminine or I'm submissive. So when men are acting like women, you notice they always go, ah.
Right.
That's why. It's because it's just a sign of submission.
You say women can claim territory to show assertiveness.
So claiming our space, spreading our arms out, and then also when we're standing, to actually claim our space, firmly plant our feet a little
She got hips.
shoulder width apart. That is that's a way to take back power if you want to show that you're powerful, you're feeling confident. That's a way to do it.
Now, how do you do that on airplanes? Because I tell you what, getting stuck in the middle seat on an airplane, and I swear to you, men just spread out, and like you're stuck like this, and I'm ready to do this, and
Right.
and then I don't want to because I'm worried about how I was going to make him feel.
Because a man, that's him claiming his territory.
Yeah.
If you want that elbow room, you take it.
You just take it.
Just take it, because that is actually a sign that you're controlling your space. You're claiming.
See, I'm not down for that kind of shit, fellas. In fact, I'm going to fast forward. I think that's pretty much... She goes into more of the neck stuff.
Sometimes
Touching your neck.
Touching the neck.
The movie you see on the selfies.
If you got to stack evidence, you're one weak motherfucker. Know that that's the level that you're at, and you've got to grow from that. Okay? So if you're a weak man and you got to stack the evidence up, know that you're weak and that you do have to grow. So you guys who are ordering the book, your goal is to be able to do just by eye contact and step over and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. That's where you get a little bit of risk. But believe me, if they're making eye contact with you, and she says in another video that a woman has to do it 3 times before you idiots see it. So by the time you've seen her, she's done that at you 3 times. Also, if you ever study any type of body language, this is going to freak you out. Words are only 7% of communication. I learned this in communication class. Nonverbal communication is the rest of it. That's the body language, the facial cues, the minor facial tics or movements, the eyes, the smile. That's the rest of it. 93% of your communication right there. That's why in the club you don't talk to girls. You don't have time. Music's too loud. So you got to learn to develop your body language. You got to have the body language of a player or a masculine man, whatever you want to call it. Now, Jovina, as you guys recall, said, you look like a super player who could get any girl in the room that he wanted. Obviously, she was looking at my body language and what she described as the feeling she got. And that's what you got to learn to develop. When you have a masculine presentation, women gravitate to you. Let me use Grease 2000 is one example. Grease 2000, you may not know, is sleeved. That means he's tatted all down his fucking arms. He's 6'3". Now, you guys who are 5'5", don't start your bitch ass, weak ass, punk ass whining. Because there are plenty of guys who are 5'5" that get all kind of pussy. Okay? But that's to his advantage. He also has a James Earl Jones type of voice. Very close to James Earl Jones in depth. So obviously, the brother has some big balls. Because that's testosterone that gives you a deep voice. So he's probably his pheromones and his body language. He used to ride a bike, also a motorbike. Hope the brother gets another bike too, because that would be cool for him. Put on a pair of jeans, a shirt rolled up to the elbows, showing all the tats, and just roll through town. I can see bitches' pussies popping all over the place, like popcorn as he drives by. But when you have that kind of masculinity, as you learned about body language, words are 7%. The only way to have effective words is to have her one-on-one with your voice in her ear, or through emails or text messages. The talk in the clubs, because of the music, is almost waste. That's why you always want to do what's called the takeaway. Take her away from that environment. Okay? Let's see. You know when someone's attracted to you. You guys like that shit, so let's cover this one next.
Do you know when someone is attracted to you? So one of the most frequent questions we get here at the Science People is, how do I know if someone is attracted to me? And so on Twitter, we decided to ask our followers if they agreed or disagreed with the statement, I know when someone is attracted to me, true or false. 53% of you said true, 47% of you said false, so about evenly split. So I thought I had to do a video on a couple of signs that you know if someone's attracted to you.
Did anybody open their eyes and see? What do you see in this photo here? Look at the set. Do you guys see the Rubik's Cube? Do you guys know what that is? That came out when I was in high school, I believe. Or shortly, yeah, I was in high school. It's a puzzle. She's communicating, and then the little marionette puppet here, and then the beakers. Look at what she's wearing. Look what she's sitting on. Look how she's combing her hair versus the ponytail thing that she does. She looks totally different. Crooked smile. See, I notice everything. That's what you got to train yourself to do, is start noticing everything. Okay, let's go here.
Know if someone's attracted to you.
Notice the eyes. Does she talk about that? Last. But she's talking about interpersonal communication stuff.
Is something called proxemics. So proxemics is the fancy schmancy body language word for space between people. What happens is when we like something or someone, whether that's a delicious cake or a handsome man or a beautiful woman, is we want to move towards that thing, that item that we like. So whenever you have someone who's leaning in towards you, who's reaching out towards you, who wants to stand closer to you or be in your closer physical distance or your intimacy zone, you know that someone at least likes you. And this is a micro message of like. You don't necessarily know attraction, but you know that there's something positive happening there. So,
did anybody notice her smile versus the woman's smile? The woman's smile, the heavy woman, did you guys see her canines? I see everything. I saw her body, her hair, her canines. This woman who's delivering has had her canines filed down. So she doesn't have that animal look that most humans have with our canines and the ones on the bottom. Anybody notice that? But let's get into this. What she's talking about is perimeter breaches also. It comes under this thing called proxemics.
Pay attention to the space around you and count how many times they come into your intimate zone. That's about 18 inches away from your body. The second thing you want to watch out for is haptics. So haptics is another fancy schmancy term for touch. So when we have touch as humans, it makes us feel all warm and gushy inside. And the reason for that is because the moment we have skin-to-skin touch, release what's called oxytocin. Oxytocin is the chemical of bonding. It's like...
Now, my understanding is that it's women that release oxytocin, especially after sex, and it causes them to bond to us as mates. And she's saying now that we all release it, or she's not defining herself correctly, but it gets released on touch. You notice how some girls touch guys? They'll touch your arm, they'll touch you, their shoulder or whatever. And then the guy falls in love with her, starts writing me about her. Why did she touch me? She got control of you, by the way.
That feeling that we get when we're like, ooh, I really like that person. That's actually oxytocin coursing through your bloodstream. So when someone wants to reach out and physically have that skin-to-skin contact, they're trying to produce the hormone that makes you feel bonded. So if someone reaches out and shakes your hands, that's a pretty good one. But if someone reaches out and touches your forearm, or puts their hand on your upper arm, puts their hand on your shoulder, or better yet, gives you a hug, you're going to have more oxytocin. So I want you to count how many times they reach out to cross that touch boundary. Every time they reach out and want to produce that oxytocin, that's a pretty good indication that they want to have some kind of bond with you. The last thing...
Now, remember, this is interpersonal communication stuff. You're already in somewhere talking to the female. Also, I've had women, touch my arm, touch my biceps. They used to love to touch my triceps and biceps and pecs. But this is all, by the way, this is all subconscious stuff. Not all women do this consciously. It's a subconscious behavior that they learn in controlling men, especially. You guys will fall in love with them just because they slapped you on the back or patted your head like a little puppy dog. You fall in love and start, writing me, as I said about her. What should I do?
The thing I would advise you to look out for is eye contact. So the other thing that produces oxytocin, other than touch, is mutual gazing. So that is when you're both looking at each other as you are speaking or as you are listening. The more eye contact you have, the more bonded you feel with someone, the more oxytocin you produce. So I want you to pay attention when you're talking to them. Are they looking off into space? Are they checking their phone? Are they looking down into the side? Or are they looking straight at you? That is it.
That's where I learned to get women to hold eye contact with me. You guys who are talking to women, you float your eyeballs at another hot chick walking by. And some time ago I read about a woman that was watching me, and I gave her the eye contact thing when I was engulfing Shorty, the short one. She said to talk about the look that I gave her, full of passion. Eye contact, the power of eye contact. You gotta learn how to use your eyes.
They signal that they want to have that kind of bond, that kind of chemical oxytocin. So those are 3 really easy things you can look out for to see if someone is attracted to you, because I never ever want you to miss a mutual crush.
Okay. Let's look at one more.
Welcome back to April Northwest. Our first guest is an expert in reading body language and is here to help us decode nonverbal love signals. We're happy to welcome back behavioral investigator Vanessa Van Edwards. Good to have you back, Vanessa.
Hi, thanks for having
So we're
me.
kind of talking about the way it works in the dating world. And you say most communication is nonverbal.
Yes.
Ooh.
7% is verbal content.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
7.
Just
Wow.
7. So that means 93% is body language, facial expressions, and voice tone.
Okay,
No wonder so many fellas fail, because you're fucking awkward. You walk in with the wrong body language, you give off the wrong clues, you're socially inept, and it's not even what you're saying. It's your body language, your facial tics of creepiness and nervousness, the way you stand. That's why it's got to be in you. When it's in you, you give off the appropriate body language. That's why your confidence has to be in you. Okay? You can try to fake confidence, but you will give yourself away. I say go develop some real confidence.
So if women are interested in a man, what are the signals they get? I'm so afraid to even move. What are the signals that they
So
give
you can
off?
practice later.
Yeah, right. But so how can people
So
tell?
a lot of these cues, remember, they're coming from an evolutionary perspective. So what caveman wanted to do. Actually, not a lot has changed since then, except maybe high heels and iPhones. That's a little different.
Yeah.
And also a chemical perspective. So the first thing that a woman does when she wants to attract a male is she will often expose her neck. And you see this when women flip their hair back.
Another test. You guys notice her change of personality when she's on air versus doing her own videos? And notice the cut, she cut her hair and pulled it back in a ponytail. Why? That's stuff, why?
And they show that side of their neck. That's because they want men to sort of smell their pheromones. That's a very chemical thing. So you'll see women will tilt their head, they'll listen like this, they'll flip their hair back. That's the first thing that women do when they're sort of feeling like they want to attract a man.
Now, see, remember when I've told you at the comedy clubs the women hit on you and you don't even see it. I mean, I know they're drunk, but
So the woman's standing there going like this with her neck.
yes, after the show, she says, "I would like to buy a CD."
Yeah, okay. And she actually has a tattoo that says pheromones here. Okay, so but that makes sense. I see evolutionary the trail there. Okay.
Yes, and so the next way is women will often, you'll see them touch this little notch right here in between their collarbone, and it's called a suprasternal notch. And women will often, they'll touch it when they're feeling like, this is an intimate topic, or they're feeling like maybe their comfort zone is sort of, their barriers are breaking down. So you'll often see a male will bring up an intimate topic, and a woman's hand will fly right here. She'll leave her hand right here to touch it. So that's a signal for a man, okay, we're in intimate territory here. We tread carefully, but it could be a good thing because she's sort of opening up to you.
Got it.
And then you say then there's the ultimate female flirty
Ultimate
look.
flirty. So this is when women tilt their head down, look up at a man, and bat their eyelashes. So this is a classic Marilyn Monroe gesture. Marilyn Monroe does, Princess Diana does this, so we have some pictures.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Here she is, sort of tilting her neck down
and then
batting her eyelashes
the neck
and exposing her
open,
neck,
yeah.
right? The pheromones.
She's got it all.
And Princess Diana loved this look. She would look up at reporters and bat her eyelashes at them, which is one of the reasons why the camera loved her.
But it's subconscious, right? Women are doing this consciously, are they?
Absolutely.
Or most women aren't.
First of all, hormonally they want to attract a mate, and they also, it makes them feel good. There's a you want to be attracted. It makes you feel attractive.
What do men do?
Okay, so men
Ask, just,
almost
pull up in
always.
the truck, get in.
Want to go to happy hour?
When you watch a group of men, you'll almost always see that they will point their feet towards the woman they're most attracted to. So on the Bachelorette, if you're ever watching that show, you can almost always see that men will point their feet towards the female.
So they would, let's say, for example, you were the object of my affection. I would turn my feet like this.
and your body towards me, because you want a direct gaze of the woman you're attracted to.
I don't know, that sitting like this would be the thing
The next
that turns
thing,
you on.
you're oh, you're revving my engine. Actually, that leads me into my next tip, which is men often do leg splays, and I'm not going to demonstrate. Thank you.
You just put your legs apart.
Yeah. So that's a.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're open.
Yep.
But that kind of makes sense, though,
Yeah.
because they're.
It's a territorial display.
I
Thank
get it.
you.
Territorial display.
And the last thing that men sort of do when they want to attract females, they'll often put their hands in their pockets and expose their thumbs. So they'll put their hand in their coat pocket or in their pants pocket. Showing that thumb is.
Now, this is the one that I used. And I learned this from a magazine I read when I was in high school. In an article titled The Super Seducer. They talked about the guy that walked into the bar. He would leave with a woman within an hour. He'd put his thumbs and fingers pointing to his crotch. See, I learned that one at an early age. This one I'm not familiar with, where you put your hands in there and you have your thumbs out. I never stick my hands in my pockets. So my mom always said, don't put your hands in your pockets, because you look like an old man when you do that, kicking a can down the streets. But this behavior, I adapted right away. You notice how his fingers are pointing to his crotch? Whereas these guys don't have that sexual behavior. They have a masculine behavior, even though they're only like 5 feet tall, but they don't have the sexual behavior. So know the difference. So that's something I want to add on to that.
It's like a confident.
Oh, like the Cowboys.
Cowboys. There we go. It's the
As if
ultimate
the
cowboy
belt buckle
stance.
wasn't a signal enough.
Right. It draws attention to them.
Yeah.
It's a confidence gesture.
Now, how can you tell if someone is being fake with you?
Yes. Okay. So this is important. There's 2 things to watch out for if you're in the dating scene. First is fake happiness. So people are genuinely happy when they engage these muscles right here. Those sort of eye crinkles.
Right. Unless they've been Botox.
Unless they've been. Oh, that makes my job really hard. children soon, and they go, oh yeah. Yeah, and they're not engaging those side muscles. That's fake happiness.
Got it.
And also lip pursing. So when people go, and they kind of purse their lips together, it usually means they're holding back. I like to sit in restaurants and guess how dates are going, and whenever you see that, you know someone's
not
holding back.
going well.
It's not going well.
Now,
And do men and women both do that?
Both sexes, and also you see this in business too, but dating is a big one because you'll see people sort of holding back what they really want to say about a topic.
I'm sure I've seen them, but are there signals when women are just clearly telling you they're no way at all interested? Arms
Yeah,
crossed.
yeah.
That means I don't want to be approached. I'm feeling vulnerable.
That's how my wife walked down the aisle. Really, that's universal, isn't it?
That's very
Most
universal.
people do.
Yeah, it's the ultimate defensive stance. You don't want to be talked to.
Okay, there you guys go, who are the more cowardly type. There's all that you need. There's also other videos here on YouTube you can see. Okay? If you need that extra evidence. Dupree, so when you get married, is it going to get old? It did for me. This relationship, it gets old too. But I try to keep it exciting and different. You know, we do different things. But there are stale times. Yeah. J. Henry says the volume's too low. Then turn your volume up. Because mine is at a maximum. Yep. I can't. Let me check, see if I could actually turn there. Nope. It's all at the maximum. So that's just it there. You Jelly, what's up? You check out the screen name I suggested. I saw one of them, and I made a comment on it. I don't go to Facebook very often there, brother. I only go to actually communicate to you. I haven't been to my Player Supreme account yet because I have to switch everything. This account that I'm using right now is not under the Player Supreme Gmail account. I got to, disconnect from everything and then go to that one. So I'll get your photos. I'm going to use them at the end of our study here also. So I've got another week or so to get those. Jay, what's the male equivalent of the teachings of this woman? How am I supposed to know? She's giving you the male side of it also. What you wanted to hear from a man? I'm sure there's some videos done by men on the same subject on YouTube. Just type in body language and dating. Don't listen to dating coaches on it. Go to the actual researchers. Dominic Griffin. Why did I say that? Because researchers will give you more detailed information for you guys that need detailed information that she actually likes you. I didn't play the video where she said it takes 3 times for a woman to send you that brick upside the head. And that's a goddamn shame. Dominic, my mom said don't put your hands in your pocket tubes. Yeah. You Jelly Supreme, I always put my hands on my waist and did the same shit. Didn't realize it till now I have huge hands when I make a fist bigger than a softball. Hands on the waist, to me, I do that every now and then, but I've been trying to train myself not to because women put their hands on their waist. And I don't remember the last time I've done it because I think I've actually broken myself with that one. Playo, what's good? What's up, Kenya? J. Henry says scientific. Ha. Okay, Jay. You saw me just roll my eyes, didn't you? All right. I'm going to delete all the rest of this. All right, I'm back. Dominic, chick was say I have big hands. Don't know what you mean. Alex Preem, how's it going? What's up, Alex? You Jelly Supreme, I was thinking embossed. Yeah, I already made a comment on that. So actually, I said, after I saw that one, I said, forget it. Leave it as you jelly. Basically, I don't like it. Have you got in touch with Greece? Yeah, I talked to him last night on the forum. I talked to him on email yesterday. What's up? He'll probably be in sometime today if he can get away from his girl. Jay, meant that in a good way. Okay. It makes sense to listen to more subconscious scientific researchers. Glad you weren't putting it down. Scientific. Ha. Just difference in communication, man. Dominic, my bad. Chicks always say I have big hands for some reason. I got big hands, size 14 shoes, and what they say about that does not really necessarily apply. I'm not 12 inches with the size of these mallets and my big ass feet. Supreme, do I keep my screen name or come up with... I've grown used to it. For this channel, keep your screen name, you jelly. Shit. Because that embossed direction, I'm not feeling that one. That's the best you come up with. Just keep it you jelly. But when I think you jelly, I'm thinking also, a jelly belly in the back of my mind. So make sure it doesn't affect you subconsciously, like keeping your belly like full of jelly. Growing hard, new direction, on the way up, on the way down, coming down. I'm thinking of different ideas that could apply to weight loss. Always improving. That's a good one. Hey, I'm getting better. That's a good one. God damn it. Hey, Preem, skinny chicks are underrated in the black community. Yeah, I don't like them. I actually prefer them over thick ones. You're one of those types. Okay. In terms of sex, they can take bigger dicks better than, contrary to what I thought. I have actually never had a skinny sister. Interesting. Well, that's what my dad liked. Skinny and dark skin. Yesterday we went to Walmart last night actually. Jovina, headphones off.
What?
Headphones off. Participate for a moment. Yesterday, Jovina and I went to Walmart and we saw a broke pimp. And he was strutting through Walmart with his pimp suit on. Do you see him? You saw him, right, Jovina?
I saw him at that counter.
Yeah, ordering some food. What did he look like to you?
Like he was trying really hard to be a pimp.
Yeah. Now, he had a chicken head. We call chicken heads those skinny, black, super dark chicks with the weaves.
I didn't see her.
Yeah, I saw her. He had one hoe. He was one hoe deep. And he, I guess he spent all his money on a cheap suit. Why I discount him was because the way he wore his hat. He wore his hat off the front of his head, going backwards, like Boy George. And a real pimp, who's serious about his game, he's like a starter pimp or something like that, even though he's probably in his 30s. You don't wear your hat like this. Like if you have a ball cap, you don't wear it up here. That means you're an ass hat. You're a clown. Okay? One of the fellows just came to my forum. He's young. I was so surprised. I talked about it in my podcast show for Monday. He wore his hat down here, and also the brim was curved. Instead of wearing like you jackasses wear those bonnets like this, the long ass bonnet ones with the shit straight, like that guy Kent wears. Somebody's gonna defend that too. Don't. You're an ass clown. Okay? Period. Cool guys tilt the brim. Cool guys tip the hat down. Wear it like, at an angle, especially in the black community. This dude wore his like this. Like Boy George. Boy George wore a hat on the back of his head. Those little tiny hat. So I didn't give the brother no respect. just because of the way he wore his hat. You guys got to learn how to wear your hat if you want to have power. If you want to be just like the typical black ass hats and clowns out there wearing the brims like this, and then like Elmer Fudd, it goes up. You know, you wear it on the very top of your head or tilted. Some of them wear them sideways. You don't wear your hat sideways for a ball cap. You wear it straight because those kind of people, they come at you straight. Sideways, you're a clown. Okay? You're what girls call, oh, he's just kind of cute. But they don't take you seriously. You get no respect. Do you ever study the way a man wears a hat?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've noticed the way some do, and some just don't know how. I mean, they're too childish in the way they wear. Like my kids when they were little,
Yeah.
they like to wear theirs backwards.
Yeah.
But they were
That's what
little-
white
they were
guys do.
little kids.
They always wear the hat backwards. Yeah.
They were little. I mean,
Yeah,
they
the
were
little kids, yeah.
2, 3 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and as they got older, it's changed as they've gotten older. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they think it looks cool, but it's just in their own mind.
That's because some rappers sold them on that idea. Or somebody who's Caucasian who's dressing these black models in what they think would be cool. Instead of going to the streets and learning what the real pimps wear and the real cool guys who get a lot of women wear. You won't see them doing that shit.
Well, pimps don't wear ball caps.
Yeah, they wear ball. Well, actually, new ones do. Unfortunately, they're like these juvenile delinquent types who are selling drugs and pimping and all kind of shit. You know, they defame the game.
Take them seriously.
Yeah, I don't take them seriously. No real pimps take them seriously. You know, they'll gorilla pimp a chick. That means go in and force her into the game. You know, shit like that. Just they don't use their minds. They use their hands and shit. But the way you guys wear your hats, white guys wear hats backwards at the gym all the time. Yeah, I know. No offense to you, Jelly, there. But
Oh, that's because they don't.
older white guys, I've noticed, that play sports wear it like me. As I played baseball. In baseball, that sun's coming on you, so you bend your brim. Everybody did it. And that's what I learned as a little kid. You know, bend that brim. Also, I noticed the cool guys. You know, it's like you know the gunslingers. You know, their hats were down low on their head. Now, not like Vatos who wear those bandanas down here. Some Holmes, Holmes. You know, not. Yeah. Well, they're also not very tall oftentimes. And, yeah. No offense. Just giving you the raw deal. This is a very racial show, man. Christian Wolf. I hate clowns who wear hats like that. My friend does. Yeah. It bugs to no end when I see guys demeaning their manhood, like wearing hats sideways. I really hate that when black guys do that shit. Because some rapper did it. He's famous. And they think they look cute. Instead of being like a strong man, they want to look cute. Some girls say, oh yeah, you look cute. And they fell for the shit. Just because one girl liked it. Some stupid shit. There's always a stupid reason why guys do stupid things.
You have to remember, when a girl thinks you're cute, she's thinking of you as a child.
Thank you, Jovina. When a girl thinks you're cute, thinking of you as a fucking child. I don't want to be cute. I hated when girls called me cute when I was younger. Because that's when I was trying to be cute and demure. Blinking.
Yeah, it's like this, oh, you're so cute.
Thank you. I good, darky.
Shut up.
That's what Raul's doing too. That's why he's, you know, trying to be a good Negro or biracial, whatever he wants to call himself, you know, by hugging that girl and kissing her instead of tonguing her down, breaking her back. You know, Raul, you're being an ass clown, man. He's gonna be mad at me for that.
He's
Nah,
gonna
he's
get
never.
mad. He's gonna get mad at you.
He's
Pops.
gotten mad at me before.
Yeah, Pops, he's gonna be mad.
He's gonna be mad at his dad, Pops. Pops Supreme. Supreme. Do I keep my screen name? I say, you know what? This community, leave it. Alex. Let's see. I already covered that. Thin isn't attractive. No curves. Yeah, that's my feeling. If the brother likes skinny chicks, knock yourself out. I was watching hoe fights. It just happened to be on the side. I looked at it Friday, and I was, oh, these hoes are really fighting. And there was a skinny chick beat up a curvy chick. And she beat her to the ground. She was skinny, she was dark, and the curvy chick was actually light-skinned. She beat the light-skinned bitch to the ground. Tried to pull her, she had actually her own hair, not instead of a weave, so it was all long and shit. And the thick chick, light-skinned chick got up. The black chick beat her out of her shoe. One shoe was all flat. It was a lace-up gladiator type thing. So she took her shoes off, and they cleared out the middle of the streets, and they went down the block. Light-skinned chick walked back down there, got her ass, went in the alley, got her ass beat again. I'm like, bitch, you just need to leave that shit alone. Something about New York versus Compton hoes battle or something like that. Don't discount them skinny chicks as far as being tough. I hate clowns who wear hats like that. My friend does it. Dupree got that. Alex took back his message. And he writes, I found that thick chicks are lazy in bed, will suck the hell out of dick, but lazy. The skinny athletic ones have bomb pussy in my experience. Christian Wolf. I was going to say something about that, but I don't have experience with skinny sisters. I have experience with skinny white chicks. Christian Wolf, just by him doing that makes me want to drop him. Referring to the pimp, I guess. Supreme, a woman says, oh, you look cute. Just say, would look cute when I open your mouth when you get skull fucked. That would look cute. See, I didn't ram my dick down a girl's throat. Nor if she had one eye, I didn't ram my dick in her eye socket either. I was young. To me, that was like, it was good. At least they thought I was cute. I hadn't grown my manhood yet, nor did I have my confidence. So I was one of those desperate dudes who would take anything. And then I would fall in love. All the stuff I talk about you guys doing, I done before. And I feel like a jackass, a fool. Haven't been that stupid. A girl would smile at me and I would fall in love in high school. Oh, she smiled at me. I'm there sitting there all crushing on her, in love. And I was such a dummy, a fucking dummy in 6th grade, going into 7th. There was a white chick, blonde chick out in South Dakota. I had a friend named Alan. He was a grade ahead of me. His little brother was still in 6th grade. The girl, I believe she was in my grade. And she lived in the area, in the circle. We lived on a horseshoe. And she lived back behind our place. I think they were like townhomes. Yeah, because we were upstairs, downstairs. In fact, that's where my little brother and I were fighting. And I was running because he got a butcher knife. And he threw it. And it stuck in. I turned. It went down like this. And there was another corner that went down like that. I turned that corner, bam. And that butcher knife hit the wall right where I was. So I ran back upstairs and I beat him merciless. Because he didn't have the knife anymore. I ran because he had the knife. That's my childhood. We tried to kill each other all the time as kids. But she lived a ways away, and because she, and I remember the guy's name, fucked Andre. They did it in a church, and she was blonde, and I was, into blonde chicks, and I started crushing on her. There was a swing set behind her house, and I would sit outside of her window swinging, and then I even did that singing outside of her window thing. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Because we were going to be moving out of Ellsworth. Because my older brother, he was a mastermind. He had worked at the store and somehow got the keys. And they were going there at nighttime. Basically got in trouble again. I said I got us kicked out of Japan. But it was actually, his was the last one that caused the problem. And I helped him get dressed up like a girl, like a woman in mom's clothes, so we can go into the women's locker room and look at women. Smart people tend to have sexual deviancy. Not to rat my older brother out, but that tends to have been his thing. What got him locked up in Boys Farm. He walked into an A.M.P.M. with his. He's overly endowed down there, so he walked in. Even though he's only 5'9", but you know how black people are. Height doesn't mean anything. So he walked into an A.M.P.M. with his junk hanging out. And that got him a stint in Boys Farm for a while. He learned his lesson and kind of matured and grew up out of it. But all those hormones, you know, in my family, our hormones are fucking strong. It's like we're animals. Dupree, I don't like going around hugging girls like at clubs and school. Yeah, neither. I just feel weird, yeah. Christian, Dupree, Vom, it's good you don't do that. I learned a big lesson doing that during my early years, high school. I didn't learn shit in high school. I went out chasing, hugging females. I got reported to the dean. I was a fucking clown. Back in the days, skinny chicks was it. I've never seen those days. I know in the Caucasian community, yeah, skinny chicks with flat asses. And that's what they all wanted back in the 60s up to the 70s. They even had programs on how to, exercise program, how to flatten the butt. It didn't work. It actually made their butts round. And they didn't want a round butt because that was like too much like black people. Are you jelly? Supreme, not sure if you missed my message earlier about jelly. I probably did. You're not going to scroll up. You have to leave it again there, brother. Alex T. Rather look at a thick chick all day long, especially at strip clubs. I don't go to strip clubs. What do you guys think of strip clubs? I don't go to strip clubs. I don't like them. Simps go to strip clubs. You pay out your dollars for a woman to dance on you. That's just thirsty beyond thirsty. It's the weakest shit on the planet. You got to pay a female to dance on you. That makes you a fucking trick. To be honest with you, Alex. It disappoints me too that you do that shit. And you're still going to do it. You're not going to stop because you're obviously something you like doing, man. I can say all I can say about it. And you're still going to do it. Supreme. Haha, did you just call me Santa Claus? No. Oh, just kidding. Oh, okay. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. That's right, yeah. Supreme AMPM. Yep, AMPM. Oh, sorry, not AMPM. It was a 7-Eleven. Sorry, thanks for making that correction. My brother walked into a 7-Eleven. There was a girl that he was crushing on in there. Dupree Vom. So he thought, hey, if I show her, I'm endowed. And he was just a teenager. Shit. I was in 7th grade. He was in, 9th grade because he wasn't in high school. He was so smart, unfortunately, they put him up a grade and then they put him back down because it was fucking him up socially. He went back down when he went to the boys' farm. They call it the boys' farm. So he actually graduated with his own class. Smart people tend to be kind of sexually weird. You guys notice that? Like child molesters and rapists, serial killers, they tend to be overly smart. And back then, they didn't let blacks into the GATE program. Otherwise, my younger brother, my older brother would have, been in that thing. But they didn't let blacks in it. In fact, they created the GATE program to separate white intelligence from smart black kids. If you guys know what the GATE program is. I don't know what it is like nowadays if they finally let blacks in there, but that's how it was when we were young. Christian Wolf. Dupree Vom. I was almost charged for it because the white girls said I touched their boobs. You're lucky you got away from that there, Christian Wolf. You shouldn't have been hugging bitches. Strippers don't respect you and they talk about you behind your back, Dupree says. Dominic, I don't like strip clubs either. Dupree Wolf, damn bro. You jelly Supreme. I only went to the strip club a couple of times. Once I was 18 years old. Another time when my best friend passed away. Recently wanted to go, but I never paid. I went, a girl I knew was stripping. I've fucked 2 strippers. Not a big deal. One was a sister. In fact, she was skinny with big boobs. Natural boobs. Go figure. It was online dating days. So she lived with her grandmother, and they had this big house, and I guess she's making good money. She was also on a private thing. They had a little web. This was back in the early parts of the internet, and then she was on like a little web page too. The other one, and I always like to prove my game. I actually have her photo. There you go. That's my mug. That's her thong. Now, her father actually was a chiropractor. This is the one that used to call my fucking phone and just blow that motherfucker up. She would leave just to get me the answer. Like, Chris, I need your help. I need your help. I'm stranded. She even tried I'm pregnant once. Just get me to call her back. I met her out in the rich white area club where there were some blacks going there too. Jovina.
Yeah.
What's the name of that club that was off Sunrise a long time ago where they have a Chinese buffet now? Oh, right across, almost near Sunrise Mall. I think you said you went there once. I can't remember the name of it. Bobby McGee's, yeah. I met her at Bobby McGee's, thanks. In fact, her boyfriend, I later found out, was a black dude that was working at the club. Now, Sunrise Boulevard, if you go straight down Sunrise Boulevard, you go into the warehouse district. On the left-hand side warehouse district were all the strip clubs. So the strippers would get off and they'd go up to like Bobby McGee's and, dance. And I met her on the floor. We started dancing. And I studied dance. She studied dance. And I was a good dancer. And she was good too. She was okay. Not up to my level, I felt. Anyways, so we had that in common. Her boyfriend, this black dude, didn't have that in his background, dance and all that. I think I said something to her about, asked her if she studied dance as well. So we had that in common. And this is not a nasty picture because she's actually, you can't see anything. So you can't get me for that. All right. Now let's see, I make $120,000 a year as a pharmacist. Damn. Going 1 or 2 months isn't a big deal to me. You make damn good money. You're an actual pharmacist instead of a farm tech. You're the guy that's actually taking care of the drugs. Okay, let's see what we got here. Eric, I know who you are. I remember your name. Dose of reality. Strip clubs are for tricks. Well, obviously, Alex makes a lot of money. People make a lot of money. They end up being tricks. Like they'll pay for strippers. They'll pay for hookers. I'm not saying Alex pays for strippers. I'm not saying he pays for hookers. But oftentimes, because the guy all that cash. Think about it. He's making $120,000 a year. So what is he pulling per month? $10,000 a month. His rent is maybe $1,000, or he probably owns a house. Hopefully, he actually owns property and owns a house. So let's say his rent's $1,200. What do you do with the rest of the money? $2,000 pays his monthly bills just to live on. He's single. What are you gonna spend $8,000 in food? So he's got the spare cash. Ujeli, Alex T, I wish I was making that kind of money at the moment. Why don't you invest to create assets? He probably does. I recently purchased a 10 unit. There he goes. He's buying property. See? So the brother paid his dues to go through school to become a tech. I love seeing that. Eric, is the Reaper coming on? The Reaper has never been on these shows. Just so you know, the Reaper has never been on these shows. Okay? Got a question about the game in college. Some people think that just because you go to college, the game is different. There's even guys who wrote reports on college game. Like, there's bowling ball game. You notice I'm making fun of it. There's Walmart game. Because you go to Walmart, the game changes. There's grocery store game. There's smoking a cigarette outside of the coffee shop game. Dominic asks who's Reaper. See the video. Supreme, what the fuck is this Reaper you talking about? I did a video on one of the players that came back. He bought my products. He applied everything I did. And he's dominant with his women. I've done several videos on him. He just recently showed one of the emails his female sent him, and I read the email and all that. So you got to go back and look at my videos. It'll say Reaper. Well, you're asking about college game. There, Eric says, no, don't go down the road the PUAs go. Classroom game, LOL. David Akonde, what's up? Supreme, have you had any experience working with fellow blacks? What do you mean? In a work situation, very little. In the game, I've had quite a few people that I've coached who are blacks. In fact, I'm coaching a brother right now. One of the brothers who's also African, but he lives in America. He just got his first started with a girlfriend, and was a Chinese. You guys probably don't know how difficult this is, but she was a Chinese virgin, dedicated to her education and to her father, and married, saving herself for marriage. If you know anything about the Chinese culture, you know how fucking hard that shit was for him. It took him a month to get the pussy. Michael Nolan says, oh yeah, Rosebud teaches hoe chasing. I thought pimps no eye contact, as you said. Oh, God. This has been Mike. There are pimps that were major hoe chasers. Okay? But there are pimps, and they use this word choosy Susies in relation to fucking with females and shit like that ain't choosing up. Now, since he brought that up, let me see if I can find a piece of document that I recorded. Shit. Andre, or Gorgeous Dre, when they did movies, they were major hoe chasers. When they were actually in the game, they looked for eye contact. When they're when they were being filmed, they chased like a motherfucker. And it's all about because they were being filmed. Now, they're not down for bitches that ain't choosing. That's one thing that you'll learn. If she ain't choosing and she's being a choosy Susie, they step off. They don't bother wasting their time because his time is valuable. Nope. It's not on this computer. Fuck it. You can take my word for it or not take my word for it. I don't really give a fuck, Mike. I'm tired of this shit. People come back. I thought you said. In the workplace. Yeah, I've worked with a few blacks in the workplace. In my business, I'm doing business with a black guy that is not a good relationship. He's got some kind of issue against me. Because I've had more years, maybe because I'm a little bit lighter skinned than his ass is, or maybe a little bit better looking than him. Maybe because I'm a better trainer. He's afraid I'm a better trainer. His clients will start coming to me. I don't know what his issue was. Jovina, I'm talking about that jackass downtown. What did you notice him doing one day?
Oh, the
Jackass.
glaring.
She said glaring
Glaring at us.
at me and
We were
Jovina.
sitting there talking, I just happened to one of your clients.
Yeah. We're talking to one of my clients.
He was in the background, and I can see, you know how you can kind of, from a distance, kind of see what a person's.
She said, you know how you can, these guys can't feel, but I know what you're talking about. You can see you feel from a distance someone.
And then I looked up. You get that feeling,
Yeah,
that weird feeling.
these guys have no idea about that.
And then
but
I looked up and backwards, and he was back there with one of his clients, and he's just doing this glare
Yeah.
at us, like.
Yeah. So that's my experience working with, black males. It's black males. Black males, that's why we're dominated by other races, because we fucking can't get along. It's unfortunate. Until we learn this lesson, we'll always be at the bottom. The fucking bottom. Below every other fucking race out there. Because we can't fucking get along. We got that ego, that attitude, and I'm the nicest guy to get along with in real life.
Because I think we were done
Yeah.
for the day, and we were just sitting there talking.
Well, I get the glares all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's almost like he was trying to say, well, you guys are done. What are you still doing here? You can go have your conversation somewhere else, or whatever, like that kind of an attitude.
Do you see why he trains people? He does like one body part. They have to do all these different things, and he doesn't train the whole body.
I don't.
He's learned
I didn't pay
to
attention.
milk his clients, do that trainer thing they do, where they don't train the entire body. A lot of trainers, they will milk you, get as much sessions as you can. They only train a couple of body parts. I don't like those kind of trainers. I train the entire body, and I make it a holistic system. Yeah, close the window. It's start to rain. Yeah. And I come and train whole body. He's afraid his clients are watching what I do. He's actually starting doing walking lunges now, because I do walking lunges with my clients. I saw him do that. I know he'd never done it before. So I realized his issues are because of I've had 30 years, and he's been doing his business for like 10 years, but he said he's been in the training business for 10 years before that. And he was so proud to show me his client he had for like 9 years. And I stupidly said, my client's been, like Connie been with for 29 years. She joined my stable after I had been in business for like 9 months or a year or something like that. I was there for her marriage. I went to her wedding. I was there for Connie's birth of her daughter, who's now on her third year of college. I think she has one more year left. So my clients, he's looking at the way I train. I'm more efficient in my training, and I get my clients done in 35, 40 minutes. They're completely done. So I think it's the issues of his ego. Black men, we tend to have these fucking fucked up big egos. And for me, I try to get along with everybody. There's no racial thing. I never do racial thing in business anyway. It's just black males. We have this thing about us, at least in my country. I don't know about your country, David. What you're experiencing? Maybe you'll tell us. Let's see. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Michael Nolan's now looking at pimp videos. Okay, here's the problem with that. Their game is up here. You are mentally down here. So you trying to apply their knowledge to your level is going to fuck you up. I'm not going to bother reading what you had to say, Michael. Know that you trying to follow their shit is going to fuck you up. Because you're not dating, you're not fucking with hoes. You're fucking with normal women. You're fucking with white women or these Brazilian women. Not hoes. Not strippers who you could bleach out into a hoe. You're not fucking with hoes. Alex T. Listen to Preem Phyllis. He knows what he's talking about. I started listening to him while I was in pharmacy school and coming out of a long-term relationship. Thank you, Alex. Bangura. What's up, Supreme? He says, just took a break from studying. Cool. Alex T. I pay homage to Preem for getting me back in the game. I lost my TOUGH and had to get it back. My tough had to get it back again. Bangura. Just landed a job this week for $120K a year. And Alex meant to say touch. He lost his touch. Okay, touch. You jelly. Bangura. Really? What career is that? Project management, he says. Eric. Andre Taylor has the best examples of checking females. Good. Why would you, as a child, because you're not over 21 yet, be listening to Andre Taylor? That's the problem with YouTube. That's the problem when these pimps started make these videos. There's one person you can actually listen to that's I like. It's called Sin Space Full. Sin Full. He says he's not a pimp, but he hangs out with him, knows him. I think he just has money. I don't know where he got his money from, but he makes sense out of nonsense. So, Jelly Supreme could be the guy is an elitist. Why he has a problem with you? He's black. I forgot to mention that. He's black. Some guy glaring, that's mad. No, it's this dude. And it's so obvious. My clients have noticed it. One thing. Hold on. I thought I got 3 text messages. I got 2 text messages and a phone call. Chris, please call me. Chris, I'm going to be watching my baby girl and will be unavailable for several hours. Can you please call me as soon as possible? And then there was also a phone call with a voice message on it. And as I tried to explain one time, actually I did save it. I think I saved it.
In touch with you because I have to go pick up my daughter and I'm not going to be available for the rest of the afternoon. That's why I'm attempting to call you now. So please give me a call back as soon as possible. Thank you.
What it was, I got into the gym. I guess he had left that morning, and the temperature was at 90 degrees. He always turns it up because he comes at 5 in the morning, turns up, jacks it up. I tried to turn it down. I didn't know how to turn it down. One of my clients turned it down. I didn't realize the door had a stick on the back where you could prop the door open. I tried to hold the door open to let some of the heat out. My client saw, hey, there's a stick on the back. So she went over there, dropped the stick down. So the door was open. So I trained my clients. I was done within 40 minutes. And as I was leaving, I asked his client that was on treadmill. I tried to get her to let me close the door, and I even said, well, I don't feel comfortable leaving the door open because it's in a really nice part of Sacramento, East Sac. That's the near the old Italy area. It's the rich, old money area of Sacramento. You got a great spot. I didn't feel comfortable, and I wanted to close the door. So that's what it was about. His message was, you let my hot air blow out in East Sacramento. We turned the goddamn thing down. So that's what the emergency was. A fucking mess like that. That's when I said, you know what? I'm done. So I went out looking for another place to rent down the road. And I'm still looking. Some shit like that. And luckily, when I went down there, I actually went down to confront him about that shit. After I took the responsibility. I'm a man. I took responsibility for my client, turned it down, which was good because it was up too high, as I explained to him. But I took responsibility for, leaving the door open and letting his warm air, which the thing was down, blow out in East Sacramento, as he said. Being a man and in business, I handle things like a businessman. I went down there and confronted him about it. What he's, calling me, texting me 2 times and like some kind of goddamn emergency. So he said, he listened to what I had to say and didn't apologize, but we shook hands on it. And luckily, the client that I'd asked, can I close the door? She was there training with him. And he said, oh, she's tough. She's from the hills. She beat anybody up. As an excuse why it was okay to leave the door open. But I don't feel comfortable leaving women in a gym by themselves and the door open. Because he doesn't know about what happened to this guy called Pepper Vaughn, who owns one of the owners of Step One Dance Academy. They were training for a dance production they were doing out near where my mom was. And these Mexicans came in with guns and they raped like 3 or 4 of the dancers that were there. And nothing he could do. He's supposed to be like some martial art guy and teach a dance and all that. Nothing he could do. And I know one of the girls got raped by them. It fucked up the rest of her life. She's, it's kind of fucked up. And her father was a judge. Let's continue. I try to teach you from my live examples of how to handle yourself. That's why I told you the story of this fella, the bullshit. And I didn't realize, he also on the last month, demanding his rent. I collect my money, I go to the bank, I get him his cash, I put it in an envelope, and I give it to him. It was a Thursday, I just got the money. He wanted right then and there. It was on the 2nd or whatever. Look at your calendar, look what the first of the month, what a Thursday was last month. And I didn't realize he was actually dependent on my money. One of my clients said she heard him outside. I guess he has some financial problems going on. I know he has a wife. She's white, and he has, 3 kids. I think a young son and 2 daughters. So I didn't realize he depended on my money. But he'll come hassle you. You got my money? Like a brother. You got my money? Like a pimp. You got my money? And I'm not used to that. I always pay my rent. I've always paid my rent first. I pay all my rents. And I pay my utilities. And I've done that since I've been there. But I guess suddenly he's under financial demand. And I said something to about it the other day when I paid him his cash. I give him cash so he doesn't have to write it off. And his excuse was, well, the owner's a businessman and he wants my rent. Brother, you making, he's supposed to be making $7,500. I saw his rent was like $3,000 or $4,000. That leaves him like $3,000. That's not very much money to support his family, but whatever. David, it's strange how blacks, especially men, don't get along. Yeah, it's just like they have some extreme hate for each other, just can't get along. It's our egos, man. That testosterone. So now that you guys know my shit, it's black men, just like you brothers out there. I belong to a workout group called Workout 2.0, and these brothers are attention-seeking whores. The women are the same thing, but these dudes post photos of themselves up there just so they get some accolades. One dude was doing a fucking stair machine with his, or a home stair stepper with his back to it, some funky music playing the whole time. Didn't see what he looked like. Just so show he's working off. Black dudes, I'm sorry, brothers, you're some of the worst in the fucking world, man. Then they show them, these are the kind of guys that say, well, my mom said I was handsome. The light-skinned brothers with the big beards are coming up, showing themselves. No before and after shit. Just a photo of themselves for the day. And I finally stopped Facebook from sending messages from that group. And I'll go in every now and then for some laughs. That's where the MILF came from with the big butt, the Iranian or whatever she is chick. She came out of the group. She's a fucking attention whore. So the group became nothing but attention whores. And black males are some serious motherfucking attention whores. White guys they don't do that shit. Black males do that shit. And some of the guys shouldn't even be showing their fucking faces. They think they're all that in a bag of chips. And sorry for the racial rant. Eric Hills, Supreme, can I just do bars instead of nightclubs? Do what you need to do, Eric. Again, 64% of women go to nightclubs to meet men. If you know that and you choose something else, that's on you. Okay? Those reality of Africans don't have that problem, just American blacks. I actually can believe that. Those reality says. Dominic, some trainers don't look fit. I don't look fit, but doesn't discount my knowledge. This guy actually looks like me. He's got a soft belly too. One thing I didn't like was when all these people started running the field, these skinny trainers came out with no muscle. That bugs. So if that was a message to me, don't worry there, brother. I know I don't look fit. Alex T. Lies. Where are those girls that were kidnapped in Nigeria? Africans have a tribalism issue. That is true within different tribes. And that's why they can't get along over there. That's why Europeans are dominating most of the motherland. Bangalore, you can't be a pimp if you can't be a successful player first. Very true. That's why these guys who can't even become players shouldn't be looking at pimp videos. All you're going to do is fuck up your head. You need someone to interpret it down to your level for you. And that's what I do. Don't send me videos. Don't ask me to interpret shit for you, Michael, or anyone else that does that. Eric, do not send me videos. Don't ask me to interpret. A dose of reality. Yep, and you've got to be a real man before you can become any of those things. Michael Nolan, yes, they're like black belts in the game. I'm only a blue belt. You're a white belt. You're not even a blue belt yet. You're a white belt. Coming from the instructor, you're a white belt. You're able to do a couple of forms, basically. And you learn how to do a side kick and a punch. That's basically, you go out to a club, you struggle too much. When you get ready to test for the blue belt, that means you conquered all the stuff that are at the white belt level. You've mastered them. For example, your punch, your blocks. Power Ranger, yeah. Thank you. Actually, I want to see their movie coming out.
The moves you were making, and that's what it
But they're martial artists.
Oh.
They must be Shotokan.
I don't know.
I done mixed so many damn styles, I forget. Let's see. Okay, this was Shotokan. I think this was Taekwondo, where you turn it out. Shotokan was, we block with this part. I don't like that part. I prefer to block with that part. Eric. I meant checking females at pimp level. Andre Taylor, I study for the way he carries himself. Okay. Kevin. Sinful. The P is a real pimp. No, Sinful tells you he wasn't a real pimp. He's not a pimp. Did a couple of years in prison for pimping women. That I did not know. He says, I'm not a pimp. But he carries himself like one of the younger pimps. They don't wear... He actually wears a suit, so. I've seen him in suits a couple times. Dominic, I usually get along with most brothers. I try to. They started this thing back in the 90s where they start separating us so we don't nod to each other. My days was we threw each other the Black Power sign, or we nodded. What's up, brother? Then in the 90s, I started seeing these young thugs running around. You nod at them, they just look at you. Don't say shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened to us? Michael, I do get laid now and then. See? White belt. When I do finally get them in bed, I just explore, see if they will do freaky shit with us. I won't mention what I'm trying to... You're trying to get them to fuck them in the ass. Big deal. Let's see. Dupree, he going to be asked out now that you are gone. Don't know what he's talking about. Michael Nolan, I hope you're not doing weird shit to females, Eric says. He is. Michael Nolan, what the hell are you doing to these females? Michael says, I just do what I do in the bedroom. Fuck. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to even work with Mike. Because he got this weird, she talked about, date, rape, drug, and shit like that one time. And it kind of stuck in my head, Michael. You're European. And I didn't like to think of you as being European. I like to think of you as like one of us, one of the guys here. But I'm reading what you have to say here, and you're not. I just do what I do in the bedroom. I stick her out, and she expects fuck her different ways. Sex expects I test with anal with my fingers. Oh, I did that. Though I've got bad reactions, that's where I'm stuck at. So you must be sticking. You must not have her turned on enough. I've never had a girl object to me putting my finger up her ass. Oh no, that's true. There was one girl. Oh no. I told her relax. And I had lube on it, and I slipped it in. She was afraid, and a lot of girls were not used to it. I had to get them used to it. I don't want to go on that subject of anal sex, but yeah. You might want to smooth your game out. Dominic Griffin. I know that glaring look into the soul. My mom is a narcissist. They use tactics like that. She is very manipulative. You and I have mommy issues. Michael Nolan. Deep. Okay, nah, I don't want to read that. Going balls deep in her mouth, huh? Dominic, you have big arms, though. Broad shoulders and a big chest. And a wide back. And narrow hips. The only thing I have is a belly in the front. That's how I put on my fat. And my fat stops right at my crotch. I don't have that lower belly fat. It's not my body type. That's why people like me, we can't carry the weight that like Jelly does. I'd be dead if I had Jelly's weight. My body cannot survive that type of weight gain. I'm sick all the time at the weight I'm at. Supreme, why I said in the past, what the fuck happened to being a man and taking care of your own shit instead of worrying about pimps when you're not even good at exactly satisfying a woman. Supreme, wearing them out. Dose of reality, Alex T. I was referring to when it comes to business and money. Africans have no problem doing business with each other. Eric, where did Greece meet his females? Okay. He met his females out in the world. Going to outdoor events, walking at the mall. Don't do mall game. Going to the store. There was one female that was in a class he was taking at the gym that was all up on him, licking his nuts. Most of his women he met outside, though. Okay. Alex, I see what you mean. It's a big problem here in the States, given the history of this country and how they've pitted black against. It's in our music as well. they changed that music back in the early 90s when guerrilla or thug rap started up, whole culture started, turned black against black. That's why blacks need to control our own communities. Exactly, Alex. No disrespect to other cultures, but Asians, Arabs, Indians are the biggest retailers in black communities, but they don't spend money in the community. Exactly. The black dollar only lasts 6 hours in circulation, and that's fast. That means when let's take the ghetto. They get a welfare check. They're out there spending their money at the store. Look at the ones that get their income tax back. They're out there at the car dealership on a car they're going to get taken away from within a year. And I'm not just saying that because of the video that came out. As I pointed out, if you're on the forum, I pointed out that video was fake. They were making fun of blacks to do that. Rainbow Spring. I realized I don't enjoy talking on the phone with women. I'd rather text and meet up with them. That's okay. Cool. Only talking on the phone to confirm and set up dates. Cool. I did speaking in her ear while fingering her. Good. Michael Nolan says. What I learned is that I finally learned the market. Jovina, let me have some water. Just a minute, fellas. Dust in here. Scratchy throat. I learned this the hard way in this business, dealing with fellas on the internet. And I used to teach, a lot of pimp knowledge in my past shows. Then I realized after dealing with the issues, this market aren't even at player level. These guys, as I always refer to the market, are just trying to get females. Very few of the guys are actually players. So I need to decode what I was talking about and turn it into ordinary guy information. So years ago I said I'm not going to talk about pimp stuff anymore. And then I even got to the point where I said I'm not even going to do player game anymore. But that's what I was, what you always will be. And it slips back in. I just can't do datings. It's hard for me to do just take a girl flower type shit. Here comes another weird Eric question. When you were at your highest level, did you have any ounce of anxiety approaching? Because anxiety never goes away, it just reduces under control. I didn't have anxiety. At least I wouldn't call it anxiety. I was shy. See, anxiety, you get the shakes, you get the sweats. I had the fear of approaching. But I as I look back on it, I don't like using that word, but I don't think I had anxiety. So I didn't have anxiety, of course, no anxiety when I got top of my game either. I didn't have the fear. That's what you should have asked me. I know you were afraid when you first started approaching girls. Did you have that fear later on? And the answer is no. Because I did the way the game worked. See, I knew a girl was attracted to me. Why would I be afraid of that? See, you're still thinking in PUA terms. Like, if I was hoe chasing, then I probably would develop some type of fear. Nah. Actually, when I think about it, my ego is so big. Yeah, well, when you have big egos, I guess you could, could affect your big ego. I don't have any experience with that, so that's why I'm just grasping at straws here. But in answer to your question, I didn't have any issues. Top of my game. Okay. You got a weird part of your question. I kind of glanced. Does Grease have any anxiety or none? I have no idea. Why don't you ask Grease that? I don't wipe his ass. Okay? I have never seen any. And he goes by girls that are choosing. So why would he have any anxiety? I don't think he's ever had any anxiety about approaching females either, to be honest with you. Dominic, my goal is 160 or 170 with BMI of 12 this year. Okay. Talking about pounds, 160, 70 pounds. Michael, you don't talk all the time, though, in the ear, biting the ear, and hickey the neck turns women on. I don't like leaving marks on women. Especially, what if they were married or had boyfriends? That ended up being a lot of females I started fucking with after I made that first mistake. For some reason, I started attracting women that had either boyfriends or were married. There were quite a few of them at one point. So, but I don't like it when women do it to me either. See, I don't do what I don't like done to me. If a woman leaves a mark on me and I'm a player, think about that. And women have tried that shit. And you gotta pry them off like a fucking leash. No, don't do that. I don't like marks. I've had, when I first started fucking, there was one chick that thought scratching my back was sexy. And she was scratching. I went, ah! What did you do that for? Don't do that. She's the only one that I remember. Made a big deal about it. Michael, well, I'll be lost if I never found the channel. When I kiss a girl in the club after she chooses, you take them. There's an arrow button. Oh, there it is. Okay. Home, plain and simple. Fuck. Just taking the number and leaving you leave with her. My goal was to pull her from the club. If she passed my test, I learned to test women so that I don't take home an aggressoid type female. Even a closet, hide in the dark. When she gets home, she's going to go, no, we're not doing this. No, I'm not going to do that. No, you're not putting your dick there. No. You guys notice that after Michael Nolan did that stupid, well, I should say stupid, Hot or Not, and they ranked him like a 4, he took down his photo. So you guys have no idea what he looks like. All because of that, he took down his photo. So he can't even show his photo to a pack of dudes. You're coming at us with some bitch assness. You guys don't have your photos, same thing. You're coming at us with some bitch assness. I don't know what you look like. Unless I've talked to you before. Now, I know what Michael looks like. But you guys don't. You don't know who you're talking to. Jay, speaking of which, Jay, no photo. Hey, Preem, I was in the club yesterday and I was getting looks from females. Don't know. I don't know what you look like, man. But I would then see them walk up to their what seems boyfriends. How do you approach that situation? You don't. Come on, I'm an intelligent man. She's going to walk up to her boyfriend? You ask me, how would I approach that situation? What lack of common sense do you have, Jay? When I said I was pulling females that had boyfriends, they weren't around. I didn't know that. Because women can play the game too. They're going to tell you they got a boyfriend. And I never asked. I've never asked one girl, of all those girls I've been with, over 100 some odd chicks, well, do you have a boyfriend? Never did that. I don't know why you guys do that either. Like I'm gonna get the truth too. So you don't, unless you want to get beat up or get shot. Excuse me. Scratchy throat. Eric, so I can completely erase my social anxiety. I plan on doing cold exposure using the Win Hof method. I have to go in sub-zero temperature with just shorts on. No comment. Wow. I would just love to have some good students that I can talk to. A dose of reality. I'm here to soak up player and Mac game, but there's a lot of daters and tricks here. Y'all, tell me about it. Y'all have to know y'all are bottom feeders. Like, girl, I hate the crazy back scratches. Me too, man. Plus, they think it's sexy here. Like that bitch that I've had my dick bit twice in the clubs. I don't know why they think I'm not Caucasian. I'm not into pain. You know, I'm black. We don't like pain. Bit my fucking dick. Dancing down and, you know, think it's sexy? Ow, god damn it. Michael, I don't get it, though. When you talk in their ear, it turns them on. Think of this. Do you remember when your mom sent you to get your hair cut and the clippers got to near your ear and it tickled? You remember that? All you guys remember that shit. The clippers, same thing. Or when someone's whispering in your ear and it tickles. I used to do that to girls. I wouldn't say that. I go pss, 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 pss. Or I make a growling sound. Don't do what I did. It fit my personality. Like I do the Jovina. I make a lip smacking sound. Just like I'm kissing her ear. It makes her, you know, tickle her up. Jay, one chick was literally with her man and would glance at me every chance she got, even stared at me when she was winning on him. WINING on him. You guys are on your Obama phones, huh? I don't know what that word. I'm not even gonna bother trying to think of it, but whatever. When she was with him or dancing on him, something. Anyway, I had that experience when I was dancing at America Live. These chicks would get up on my little box, knowing I'm gonna hump the shit out of them and do all kind of freaky shit to them. And my boy, Tall Mr. Negative, used to complain about it too. Then they would get off and go back to their husbands in the background. I learned about Mandingo parties from Greece. I had no idea this shit went on. White males with their wives who have these black guys come in and fuck them while they peek through a hole or peek through the door. Like a gaggle of white guys, you know, looking through the door watching black guys fuck their fucking wives. Cuckolds is a word I learned also from Greece. I didn't know what the word really meant. To me, it was like the guy that would have sex with your wife, and that's where the term redhead stepchild come from. She get pregnant, you have like suddenly a redheaded stepchild. That occurred in England, or not in England, but in Europe. That whole phrase, a redheaded stepchild, and the whole word cuckolding, that was like a European thing, and I didn't know anything about it. It's amazing for someone that was such a big player, my lack of knowledge on the different side sex stuff that, as one fellow put it, European sex stuff. The whips and the chains and the cuckolding and all that. And Mandigo parties. Eric Nolan, put your damn photo, stop hiding. Eric says, who's hiding himself. The kettle can't call the pot black, Eric. I know what Michael looks like, but you guys don't. It'd be nice if you guys showed up like men while you're soaking up this goddamn game, because I talk about being a man and you distribute non-male behaviors. Jay, my boy said she'll find a way. And sure enough, like 10 minutes later, she was right next to me. So he distracted the husband. I don't do that. That's a waste of my player time. If I can't pull a bitch, think about it. You waste your time on a bitch is not going to go home with you. She's going to go home with her husband. So why in the fuck you wasting your player time? Because she was hot? You black, right? Jay? If you're not, excuse me, nigga, please. Excuse me for using the N-word, fellas. But I get so bottom feeder game. That's all I got to say, man. Let's just stop talking about the subject, man. Dominic, I hate aggressive chicks, and they don't like me, as I said for myself as well. Bangura, some of these guys are so dumb. Bangura, thank you. Yeah. That's why I stop sometimes. My brain freezes up and locks up. I don't know what to say next. If you guys just go out, do the games I teach you, we be talking about, you'll be getting more out of my conversation, because you'll be asking me, okay, I got the female, now what do I do next? And I be talking to you guys about, okay, the sex part, how to dominate a part, put it on a team. No, we're talking about stupid shit. Sorry, Jay, but a female that's got a man in a club, a player ain't gonna touch something that's not his. Okay? I didn't only go in to touch women that had husbands. The chick that used to fly me down to LA, I resented that. She got up from the bed with me, went home to her family. I met her in Las Vegas. She was there with her sisters, her stepsisters. Didn't know she was married till after we fucked. And hold on. The belly dancer chick is the first one I did that was... no, actually, she's the second one. I forgot about the first. The older lady. But I didn't know she was actually married. As I keep trying to tell you guys. I didn't know she was married, man. Like, what the fuck? She said her roommate was a friend that lived with her. And... this one actually bothered me. Actually, the first one, she wasn't married at the time, the older woman. She married that King's guy later on. So she is the first. But I'd already fucked the older woman, and I started fucking her again later on. It was after this, though. She's the first one that was married. And she didn't tell me. And I felt really bad. He taught at university level archaeology in my area. He's now back east. That broke. He was such a nice guy. It bothered me deeply. So I made her pay. I treated her like shit. As Andrew Dice Clay, like the pig that she is. I actually liked having sex with her, but that happened, and I was mad. I was actually on the religious side of things, to be honest with you fellas. You know, I was going to do my game, but I didn't want to commit sins. A woman scratched you supreme? Yeah, scratched my back, had my dick bit, Eric. Once I get my highest level of confidence, I can never lose it. Let's say I get trapped in the wilderness for a while, come back. Confidence versus knowledge of how to survive are two different things there, brother. You can be the most confident man, and you're trapped in the wilderness and there's bears around you. Where's your confidence at? You're going to be afraid like normal. Mike, don't bitch your dick. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Dupree, how don't you know talking in their ears softly turns him like he's talking to someone else? Eric, when? I don't want to know. Not interested. Some weird therapy shit. Dominic can't do cuckold. I used to have this fantasy of that. You know, fucking a guy's wife in front of him. When a guy had the opportunity to do it, I turned it down. I've actually had a couple of them. When I first got online, when I started in this community, when I just started in the community, there was a couple. The girl that was holding my sign, I was going to do swinging with her. I couldn't do it. You can't pimp something that's close to you. They're saying you can't pimp what you love, but I didn't really love her. But she was mine. There was a guy that he had a Filipino wife, and he wanted me to fuck his wife, and he was sending me emails. I eventually just turned the dude down. I was kind of curious about it. Michael Nolan, got to scroll down because I got to finish this show real quick. Going to woman who's standing by man in club, bad choice. Yep. What's the one who licked your asshole? That was Roberta. The first girl that after my ex-wife. Good, you were paying attention. Then she came up to me trying to kiss me with ass smelling around her mouth. No. You crazy? No. You smell like ass, bitch. Oh, man. And men, you know, we got a lot of feces in us. We take a lot of shits. No. Her words to me, I invested a lot in you. How can you do this to me? When I told her I can't do it anymore. I don't want to see her anymore. And, yeah, she did invest a lot. She made meals for me. She put me up. I had a place to live. And then I finally got enough money to get my own place, and I got out right away. I want hotter babes to bang. I was 27, 28. Okay, you're right. Haha, Supreme. How do you differentiate from women who are and aren't available in the club? They're giving you eye contact. You take a moment to observe. If you find out they got someone there, like I did after they danced with me, you got charge it to the game. Jay, out of nowhere, sometimes okay, you're still talking about that. Bangura. Player, check out the movie Fences. I'm downloading that one today. It's about old player. Also, I want to download Get Out when it comes out. Yeah, it's with Denzel, right?
Fences, yeah, it's with Denzel Washington.
Now, this is how immature Eric is. He goes to me, tell us more about Greece's stories and details from Mandingo Party. That's something you should be asking Greece. That shows you're young there, fella. Supreme, how you fuck married women and still trust women as a whole? Good question. I never did. And that's coming out of my childhood. Issues from my childhood. I had low trust in women. Supreme's still on the ropes about the whole eye contact thing. What the fuck is there to be on the ropes about? If Jovina, Jovina's looking me in the eye right now. If a chick looks you in the eyeball, sign of interest, step the fuck over and talk to her. See how deep it goes. End of story. Don't bring it up again. Sorry, I've been dealing with knuckleheads since I've been talking about eye contact. Sorry to be upset at you. It's a subject that's so simple. If she looks you in your eyeballs, not at you, like looking at your chest from across the room, makes you think you have a nice chest, or she looks at your arms, that makes you think you have nice arms. Women can do that. We do that. Hey, that chick has a nice ass. Does that mean I want to fuck her? Well, most dudes, yeah, but women are like that. So up here is a sign, please come talk to me. Done. Half and a can and a half great white talking about films. That gay movie Moonlight won an Oscar. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They made a mistake when they announced. Yeah, I know about that, brother. I wish, of course they're going to, the Oscars, as we know, has been played out. It's really a racist regime. Again, look what happened to Beyonce, because they were mad at her because of the X performance. So they gave it to that European Adele, who mimics black singers. So you give it to a woman that mimics blacks' culture and singing, and because you're mad at a black woman that promoted Malcolm X, you don't give it to her any credit. You bring her there just to teach her a lesson. So of course, we all know that Hollywood is part of the arm of white supremacy. It's one of the major educational arms of white supremacy. So of course they're gonna put out a movie. Of course it's called Moonlight, which reminds me of Django. That one white guy said, "I'm gonna go walk in the moonlight with you, boy." The one with the big teeth that he shot in the dick at the end, and he was crying. He finally put him out of his misery. That was my favorite scene when he says to those blacks, "Say goodbye to whatever her name was," and he blew the mistress of the house away. Except from the angle, she shouldn't have went straight back. She should have just went to the ground. But they wanted to pull her straight back, like she got blown back. That part was a little bit janky, but I saw the previews. Moonlight. I said, "Oh, good, a black movie." I don't like to watch black movies because we're either in gangs or in the ghetto. And I looked at the preview and I said, "Why are these two brothers looking at each other like that?" I picked up on it right away. In the first scene, they're driving the car and they're looking at each other. And I stopped watching it, and then I later found out it was some homosexuality going on. I won't watch movies, and they're trying to push homosexuality within the black community. I refuse to accept it. Of course, black fags are like the worst fags too, the most feminine. Black fags, I always remember that one in that new show that had the green hair and a ponytail, weave thing going on, and he had that long, skinny face. "Oh, girl," big teeth. "Oh, yeah." I can't even imitate fags. It's a debased culture, and I just can't get into it. Sorry. It's not my thing. I'm from the old school. Don't hate fags or homosexuals. Not bothered by transsexuals. I don't like dykes. That's the one element. And I don't like flaming fags. I don't like the fakeness. Flaming fags pretend to be all feminine. Dykes pretend to be masculine and wearing our clothes. Those are two parts of that I could do without. A gay guy, just a normal dude, get your Vaseline, knock yourself out. Leave me alone. And why you always got to talk about it? Put it in my face. I don't want to know about it. Transsexuals, I watched a program on them. I understand there's a medical thing behind them. I get it. I'm cool. Lesbians, you guys want to mug runts, lick each other, knock yourself out. Just take the hair out between your teeth. Dykes, no. I watched the episode of Cheaters. I skipped it. It was all about dykes. And these were black dykes. One had a bald head and a chubby, they're all fat, chubby face. And no. Can't deal with it. Dominic, yeah, fuck Moonlight. The Oscars are set up anyway, yeah, as we now know. Did I say Grammys? I meant whichever one they dissed her at. I was talking about the music awards. I mixed the music awards in it, sorry. A dose of reality. I always prefer white supremacy with the word illusion because that's exactly what it is, illusion. Well, yeah, it is an illusion that one race is more superior than another race. That's an illusion. We're all human beings. My friend broke a fag's jaw one time. Oh. Bald-headed dykes, haha, what's the world coming to? Well, they want to look like men. And my point is, if you like women, look like a woman. These guys want to act like dudes. And I was at a gay club with my girlfriend at the time, that MAC makeup chick. We used to go there because she would do some of their makeup. And she always liked to see how good her results were. Anyway, they had like a lip sync because they can't sing like women. They have lip sync. Anyway, I would go there with her. I was there to make sure these dykes didn't bug her. One time I was there was a cowboy there with his girlfriend. Also, swingers were going in there. I wasn't swinging, but there was a lot of single chicks in there. This cowboy had his girlfriend, and there was this dyke that tried to get at his girlfriend, and she called him out. So they both went outside. Everybody ran outside to see the fight. The cowboy slapped the bitch like the bitch that she was. She thought she was do some of this shit. I'm gonna knock you the fuck. Slap! And she went down. I laughed my ass off. I even was laughing at the bouncers were gay, but I said, that bitch thought she was a man. Ha 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 ha. I laughed my ass off loudly. And they didn't say shit to me. I remember one time there was a fight going on. This black dyke was trying to run low. You know how black dudes who do that run low, like your ape thing, low to the ground? She tried to do the same thing and slipped and fell. I'm standing there. I laughed my ass off at her. Yeah, cowboy slapped her. Supreme. I don't get eye contact that much. I don't think, or I'm fucking blind to women giving out signals. Probably because you're not hot. I can't see your photos, so I can't, I don't know. And you're hoping for eye contact from, of course, the hot chicks. If you're not getting eye contact, that means you're not that attractive, to be honest with you. Because you could tell when a girl's looking at you and giving you eye contact. So you're obviously looking at the smoking hot chicks. Instead of the chicks that are more on your level. If you're like, you're above average in looks and you're not way up here, you don't even have the vibe of someone way up there, but you have the vibe down here of like, you guys number shit, you're a 6. You don't notice the 6 is giving you eye contact. That's probably what's going on. Okay? So as I try to teach you guys, stop slathering over the hot chicks. You'll get there, hopefully, eventually, when you start working on yourself. Find the chicks that are feeling you. I tried to get you guys to use, but it destroyed Michael Nolan, use How to Not to Get Yourself Rated. I thought it was okay because I came out okay on there. 8.9 was the final number or something like that, or 8. So I didn't think I was all that in a bag of chips, but you know, I was good enough, I was handsome enough to attract women. I used a photo that I had a great smile on. Michael Nolan went there and came back a 4 or 3, and look, he won't even show his face anymore. So I don't want to use that site. So I don't know how you can get your looks rated. I don't like that whole rating thing anyway. Michael Nolan's, I'm going to get your motherfucking books soon, and how to make them come. I signed up. Yeah, I saw you. I spoke to you on the forum. Welcome to the house. I even talked about you in Monday's podcast show. Welcome you to the forum. Well, that's what I spoke to you. Also, I left you a message in the shout box. Good-looking chicks approached me. Good. No, I got voted into beautifulpeople.com where women vote you in. Well, you were whining because I only got you came back, I only got a 4 or 3.4, something like that. Then you took your photo down. It destroyed your confidence. You started talking all that bullshit last summer. Dominic, what does it mean on Hot or Not when a chick wants to chat? Can someone answer that question for me? A chick on Hot or Not wants to chat with you. Dominic wants to know, what does it mean? Bangura, if you could, please. If you're still here. I get tired of trying to explain the simple. And this will be our last question, because my back is killing me. Why don't you chat with her and find out, is my answer. Thank you, Kevin. The brother that's struggling in the game knows the answer to that one, Dominic. Banger, it means she wants to talk, dumbass. Don't fuck it up. You're getting like me. No, Dominic says, I say because I'm not matched with those chicks. Who does the matching? Because the computers, but a chick sees something she likes, she wants to talk to you. Talk to her. Can you mean she's interested, you player? Okay, I'm ready to roll out. I gotta do something. I gotta take some aspirin or something. I'm out of here, fellas. Have a good day.